Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here, and I've got an intriguing report to share with you today. And that is this. We know that the state of New York, and even more specifically, New York City, has been a target of passionate affection by those in Hollywood, our actors, our producers, our directors, the whole nine yards. Pretty much, you and I can guarantee that if there is a movie that's put out about an alien invasion or some kind of takeover or a nuclear detonation in a city or a terrorist attack, any of those types of movies, well, 90% of the time, you can guarantee that New York City, if not somewhere in New York, is going to be specifically targeted on that movie. Now, can one suggest maybe, or can one maybe not suggest, but can one think and ponder that is it possible that they're giving us a hint of somewhere that they think could be taken out in the future? Well, I don't know. But obviously it's a big city and it is a target. But here's what has my alarm bells ringing. Check out this report from dailymail.co.uk. And the headline reads, "What happens if New York gets nuked?" Well, scientists simulate 20 million people in massive computer system to see how state would respond to a nuclear attack. Interesting. Now, the report goes on to detail, and this was put out by James Wilkinson for dailymail.com, and it was published March 18th, 2017. But the report goes on to detail that scientists at Virginia's George Mason University are running a 3 to 5 year study. Their simulation will put up to 20 million agents in a simulated New York. Each one has family members, needs, and jobs, and personal reactions to events. Their reactions are going to be modeled over 30 virtual days in 5 to 15 minute steps. Some may try to reach loved ones, while others might help an injured stranger. Now, this is in response to a nuclear detonation in the state there. But researchers are using personal testimonies of disaster survivors to make agents. By the end, it should take a bank of computers 2 days to run the entire simulation. Now, the report also goes on to detail that they are going to spend about $450,000 to simulate 2 nuclear detonations and their effects on 20 million virtual agents, if you will. So, that's kind of a little bit of that in a nutshell. But here's the thing. A lot of the times we know with false flags that drills are conducted in advance. We know that there was a drill done before Boston bombing happened there. There was drills at some of the schools before some of the shootings happened at those schools. Call it a coincidence or call it a conspiracy. Well, I'll leave that for you to decide. But needless to say, I don't think that $450,000 is being spent for no reason at all. I think they evidently think that this is something that could happen in the future. Whether or not it actually will, well, time will only tell. But needless to say, it's definitely something that they find worthy of a drill. But here's what also has my alarm bells up. At the same time that this drill is being run, check out this report from www.foxnews.com. Now, I spoke about this in a report yesterday. I believe it's the video prior to this. But a Secret Service agent's laptop was stolen in where? From New York. As you can see, I went on to talk a little bit about this in my report, but basically somebody went and broke into the agent's car, took the laptop, and inside the laptop there were evacuation plans. It had the blueprints for the Trump Towers, which we know, where is that? And also information on Hillary Clinton's emails. Needless to say, there were also some tangible documents taken as well. And as far as those documents, what was on those was an access key card coins, a black zipper bag with the Secret Service insignia on it. That's important. And lapel pens from various assignments there. But that's some of the stuff that was stolen, but specifically where we have New York listed as the area. Now, here's another report that I found fascinating by naturalnews.com. And the headline reads, "Secret Russian weapon could wipe out New York City, Boston, and DC in minutes with a massive radioactive tidal wave." Now, this report goes on to detail how Russia has a weapon, if you will, that can cause these tidal waves, and why specifically New York City, Boston, and DC, why that area? Well, who knows? Maybe it's an easy target, if you will, but needless to say, I find that fascinating that this is out at the exact same time. Now, here is another report. This one is by Douglas J. Hagman. I've had him on the broadcast before, but it's HomelandSecurityUS.com. And the headline reads, and this was put out today, "Disastrous National Security Breach in U.S. Congress." Now, this is detailing a breach in Congress where three Pakistani brothers back on February 2nd, 2017, with top access, they broke into the computer systems inside the U.S. House of Representatives containing some of the nation's most sensitive information. But they were removed from their positions by U.S. Capitol Police. Now, I reported on that back in February, but it's important to keep that in mind because there's a lot of White House breaches. This details one of those. Then if we move on to a news story from today, this dailymail.co.uk. Now, this was put out just today, and it's titled, "Bomb Scare at the White House. Man drives to the gates and tells security he has explosives in the car." The second security alert, not one but two, at the president's home in just one day. But the report goes on to detail that a person claiming to have a bomb pulled up to the White House. They were taken into custody, and it's not clear if they actually had the device or not. But needless to say, that happened early Sunday morning, this morning. And just Saturday, we know a person jumped over a bike rack in a buffer zone in front of the White House while Trump was in Florida. Interesting thing there, because that's two attempts. But although he was not able to make it over the fence and into the ground, there were two attempts within one day on the White House there. So interesting report. All right, so all that to say, we have a lot of things to think about. Number one, we have a simulation of a nuclear attack being conducted, $450,000 spent on that simulation because they think something may actually happen to New York. We have the threats from Russia and their, I guess, being able to make a weapon that can take out New York City, and Brooklyn and things in that area. Then we also have the laptop that went missing from the Secret Service agents there around New York, specifically in Brooklyn, but they're in that area. And then we also have the security breach by the three Pakistani men back in February. And then we had two attempted break-ins at the White House. I mean, lots of things going down here. And the other thing that I didn't mention either, but probably should be mentioned, is the fact that we have a scare with North Korea right now. I know that that's all over the news, and there is some hype on that, but needless to say, North Korea over there is like a ticking time bomb, if you will. Lots of threats, sometimes threats and no action. But needless to say, I find it interesting that they're conducting this simulation now at this particular moment when there is talk of war, if you will, with North Korea and other things, I guess, if you want to label it as such. But anyhow, all that to say, there's a lot of things going on. Now, let me just make a disclaimer here. I'm not saying that something's going to happen in New York City because I have no idea. And all I'm doing is giving you the evidence and allowing you to do with it what you will. And needless to say, like I've said at the beginning of this report, if they are conducting a drill, a simulation of something, of some kind of event, while there's been known false flags that happen in the future with that. And we also know that there's tension with Russia right now, and all the scare tactics that the left and the globalists are trying to push right now with Russia, and painting people as Russian agents who are not actual Russia agents. So there's that number to think about as well. But anyhow, I just want to throw it all on the table for you and just simply ask the question, why are they conducting this drill and spending so much money to do so on a simulated event? Do they foresee something like that in the future? Well, I'll let you decide. Anyhow, wanted to bring you the latest on all of that. Please, if you like what you heard today, hit that subscribe button and share it on all your social media outlets. And also, if you've not checked out my partner here at getthetea.com, he's got some amazing stuff. One of my new favorites here, and I love this, is the Essential Bees. And you can see the color in the inside. They're kind of pink. Kind of cool. But here is that. You can see it. It's got a little pink color to it, but great stuff there. So go to getthetea.com and check out their Essential Bees there as well. Well, thanks again for tuning in. This is Lisa Haven signing out.